you. But first, in true Republican fashion, we are going to start this with a moment of prayer. So we would like to thank Greg Engelmeyer from Catholics for Trump for leading us in prayer.
Praise the Lord.
Okay, what a great crowd. So I have a prayer here that is prayed daily by the Catholic Men's Fellowship of St. Paul of the Cross. I'll read it to you. It is emailed to all of us, so later on, if you want to be on part of this email, this group email, where every day we say this prayer, feel free to join us at the pro-life tent. So it's called the Daily Prayer for Conversion. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. Amen. Father, we ask that you cause an epiphany in the hearts and minds of all politicians and those in the entertainment industry, those in the news industry, and all religious leaders who are pro-choice to have a conversion of heart and mind to support life from conception until natural death. We ask this in the name of your beloved Son, Jesus the Christ, together with the intercessions of his mother, the Blessed Virgin Mary, Saint Joseph, her most chaste spouse, and all the angels and saints. Amen. Amen. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Thank you.
Hallelujah.
Thank you very much, Greg. And he's going to get up and speak a little bit later, so we're going to hear more from him. Oh, he's okay. So he's going to get his speech. He's going to come up here. So this is Greg Engelmeyer. He is from 40 Days for Life. He's also from Sidewalk Advocates. So he has a great presentation for you. It's a great. So we're going to try to get this up here. He's all ready? All right. Let's give a big warm welcome to Greg.
Testing? All right. Got it. All right. So, 1 second here. All right. Well, first of all, isn't this amazing? This is just, I can't believe it. It's an honor to speak to you. Let's give it up for everybody here. Thank you for being here. You're awesome. Republicans are awesome and Trump is awesome. But it is truly my honor here to speak to you. Because I want to talk about two things in my time here. Why I want to talk about the sanctity of life, and I want to talk about why we should re-elect Donald Trump for president because of his support for the pro-life movement. And so, first of all, I want to go back. Before I tell you about Donald Trump, I got to tell you a quick story. I was at the Pittsburgh Catholics for Biden event.
Oh my God.
I know, it's ridiculous. We get there, first of all, two little groups, some people I was associated with. We sent out a few emails 24 hours ahead of time. We go out to Memorial Park in Sewickley, and they got this big bus. They spent all kinds of money in live music and all this stuff. And I think they got 50 people there.
Wow.
We had 40 in 24 hours.
Wow.
Am I still on? Oh, okay. Talking too loud. I have a loud voice. Sorry about that. But anyway, so even though testing, there we go. They get a lot of publicity, but I can tell you right now, based on what we have, the people we've talked to, we outnumber them by far. But Donald Trump, so at that event, I had the pleasure, or I had the experience of talking to Connor Lamb. He was on the stage. He tells this quaint little funny story about when he was a basketball player and he was shooting the free throw at the end of the game, and the game was on the line, and his mom was in the stands praying the rosary. She was praying so hard she broke the beads and they fell all over the place. And everybody, they got a nice chuckle out of that. So I talked to Connor afterward and said, Connor, I'm just wondering, do you pray the rosary? And he's like, well, no, I really can't say that I do. So to his credit, at least he did admit he doesn't pray the rosary. And then I said, well, Connor, what are your feelings on abortion? And he starts to go on and he says, well, I've been asked that question 1,000 times. And then all of a sudden somebody pulled me over because we had a little fight between two protesters and I had to stop that. So he got off the hook. And but we know he was just going to do a song and dance because he tries to play both sides. But he votes with Nancy Pelosi on everything, and especially against pro-life. Donald Trump, on the other hand, I can just tell you, I read off a couple things. But Donald Trump got the Mexico City Accord going again, which actually cut off $9 billion of funding for abortions across the world. Okay, Donald Trump did that. Donald Trump through some regulation things, actually forced Planned Parenthood to give up $60 million worth of funding. Right on. He also, I was at the, I don't know, quick raise of hands. Who was at the March for Life? Anybody? Raise the hands. Yeah, we got some, okay. At the March for Life.
Christian, welcome you to
There we go again. So at the March for Life, Donald Trump spoke, and he gave the greatest speech that I've ever heard by an elected politician on behalf of the behalf of the pro-life movement. And last but not least, Donald Trump has appointed 2 candidates, and a third will soon be appointed to the Supreme Court. Neil Gorsuch, Brett Kavanaugh, and Amy Coney Barrett, right? Yes. So why, real quick, why is it important that why is it important about the pro-life movement? Well, let me tell you something. I don't know if you know this. Approximately 1 million babies every year are aborted, or as I say, killed. 1 million babies in this country.
Ripped apart.
And since Roe v. Wade, over 60 million babies have been killed. 60 million. Think about that. It's genocide. It's criminal. 3,000. Just so you know, tomorrow's Monday, right? 3,000 babies will be killed tomorrow. Every day, 3,000 babies are aborted. It's horrible that a civilized country, in this country, a civilized country like the United States of America allows that to happen. If we elect Donald Trump and we elect representatives that support pro-life like we have on this agenda, then we will get it done. We will reverse Roe v. Wade. Yes. Yeah. So, okay, so real quick, I want to tell you just a little bit here, because you hear this, everybody's heard this, the science is the science, right? All right, well, let me tell you what the science is, okay? The science says, at the moment of conception, when a man and a woman are together, at that moment, there's a single cell formed. Okay, thank you. There's a single cell formed, and unique DNA in the history of the world, unique human DNA, our genetic makeup is created at that moment. And it's when you think about that, ever in the history of the world, before or ever after, it's a miracle. It is simply a miracle. It is a gift from God. So when we abort a baby, we're aborting a gift from God. So, and I'm a father, right? I have 2 grown children, but when my wife Diana was carrying our first child, I was dumb. Did you know this? At 3 weeks, there is a little heartbeat inside the mother, inside the womb. A little heartbeat after 3 weeks. It's unbelievable. And also now, the science says 5 to 6 weeks, brain waves can be detected. Brain waves in 5 to 6 weeks. Those little neural cells are connected. Now here's the other thing. In 2 months, think about this. In 2 months, and I'm going to show you what 3 months looks like in a second. In 2 months, there are teeth, fingers, toes, nose, eyes, even lips and a tongue can be seen after 8 weeks. Isn't that unbelievable? All right. So, and that last thing about 2 months, did you know inside the womb at 2 months, the moms might not feel it yet, but that little baby is dancing. It's actually jumping and springing. They've seen it. It's on video. So, but here's the thing. And at 10 weeks, think about this. This is a dead human trait. It's a human trait. Can you imagine a little baby doing hiccups and yawning and even sucking their thumb inside at 10 weeks? That's a person. That's a human. How can we kill it? And at 12 weeks, here, I want to show you here real quick. You can't see this. It fits in the palm of my hand. But this little baby has every single feature. Every single feature. It's unbelievable. And that's at 12 weeks. It has fingernails, toenails, and even fingerprints at 12 weeks. So I want to tell you one more. So I want to tell you something. When I'm a sidewalk advocate for life. So when I'm on the sidewalk, I volunteer downtown a couple times a week. There's a lot of angry people walking. We volunteer in front of Planned Parenthood, and we try to counsel young men and women that they don't have to kill their baby. There are options. We know they're panic-stricken, but there are options, right? That we have all kinds of help. It's all free. We can help them, and then we could save that baby. But I have never seen one happy person walking into Planned Parenthood. Worker, or patient. It doesn't matter. They're all angry, they're scared, they're panic-stricken. More likely, we get F-bombed frequently. In fact, I almost feel like I haven't done my job unless somebody F-bombs me, right? So, there's more than a couple times I get yelled at. Well, you have no right to talk about this because you don't have a uterus. Well, let me tell you something here. Let me tell you something. I may not have a uterus, but I know what a baby looks like. This baby right here is at 24 to 26 week stage. This baby could survive on its own outside the womb with proper care. This is a baby. For gosh sakes, I know that. What as our opponent says, come on, man, right? This is a baby, okay? So, and the other thing I want to say is, because you hear this all the time, well, it's part of a mother's body, part of a woman's body. Well, look at this. Does this look like a finger or a toe or a foot that can be cut off? This is a human being. It's a little person. Come on, man. Really. Give me a break. So, all right. So I just want to say here real quick that, as far as Conor Lamb, I told you about that ridiculous story and what he felt about abortion. And Joe Biden, I call Joe Biden a Chino. Do you know what a Chino is? Catholic in name only. He's Catholic in name only. He wears it on his sleeve when he's campaigning. Otherwise, he has actually been refused communion in some churches because of his stance on abortion. Because abortion and the life is the preeminent cause of the American Catholic Bishops' Conference for American Catholic Bishops. It is the preeminent concern. Life, poverty is important. Racism is important. Hunger is important. But if you don't have life, all that is irrelevant. So the preeminent cause is life. And we need to elect Donald Trump. We need to re-elect Donald Trump. We need Sean Parnell. We need to. We need Devlin Robinson.
Yeah, tell Rico to start playing music.
We need my man Rico. Where's Rico Elmore? There he is. We need Rico.
Chico.
Get out to work for Rico. So,
No.
we need to pray for all. I'm going to close this with the prayer I was asked, and then I'm done, right? So, we need to pray for all the unborn babies, some of the babies that have survived and the babies yet to be born. We need to pray for the confirmation of Amy Coney Barrett tomorrow. And we need to pray for the future of our country. And if I may quote a passage from the Bible, because I would like you to pray with me as I read this. We're going to say the Our Father together, but I would like to read this. For where two or more are gathered in my name. This is a quote from Matthew chapter 18, verses 19 and 20. For where two or more are gathered in my name, there am I in the midst of them. So if you would pray the Our Father with me right now together. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. All right, let's go try.
Can you get a candidate picture for the trust?
If we can have all the candidates up here for a group picture, and then we'll be announcing our next speaker.
We're going to get a group picture.
Oh, sorry. There you go.
Are we missing anyone? Where's AJ? There's AJ. Okay, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. This one.
It's like the paparazzi, right? Yes, the future, right here. Awesome. Okay, our next speaker. We'll be introducing the rest. Sam DeMarco.
Yes, Sam!
Woo!
Well, we figured that out, didn't we, huh? Hey, folks, my name's Sam DeMarco. I'm the chairman of the Republican Committee of Allegheny County. I'm also an Allegheny councilman at large here. I want to welcome all of you folks from Allegheny County here, and I want to welcome all the folks from Beaver County, Butler County, and everywhere else to come out here tonight. Are we ready to re-elect on November 3rd President Donald J. Trump to 4 years? Are we ready to elect on November 3rd and knock out Connor Lamb, Sean Parnell? Are we ready to shock the world on November 3rd and elect Luke Negron to the congressional district in the 18th? Are we ready to send Pam Iovino packing and elect Kevin Robinson to Pennsylvania State Senate on November 3rd? Are we ready on November 3rd to elect our hometown girl here and our hometown state representative, Valerie Gatos? Folks, we have a number of other candidates. I'm going to bring them up and introduce them individually. But I can't tell you how important it is that you're here today on a Steelers Sunday, because this is going to play into what I'm talking about. You all know that Pennsylvania this year introduced mail-in ballots. And you know that the Democrats have been applying for them in mass. And they've been running out to satellite locations all over Allegheny County for the last 3 weekends, turning them in, having little Democrat rallies. Now, we haven't bothered with that because we're Republicans. We know civics. We know what our citizens' responsibility are. And we plan on going to the polls on November 3rd in mass and in huge numbers to turn out and elect red Republicans up and down the ballot. Now, we're going to do that. But we need more than just the folks that are here. I can't tell you how amazing this is. The turnout, the cars, the people. That each one of you, when you go to the polls on November 3rd, is going to have to take someone with you. Not just one. I want you to take 10 people. Reach out, friends, family, neighbors, co-workers, fellow parishioners, whatever it takes. Because only through the sheer force of numbers are we going to defeat the Democrats and the cheating that they're trying to do. I got some good news for you, though. Tomorrow, the United States Senate is going to fill that seat. And while last week, in a disappointment to all of us, the U.S. Supreme Court in a 4-4 tie failed to roll back the unconstitutional rewriting or extension of the deadline for mail-in ballots here in Pennsylvania, I want to let you to know that we've filed another challenge to that law and that extension that we hope to be heard by a 9-justice U.S. Supreme Court. Yes, in time for this election. So, folks, this is where the rubber meets the road. We've been looking forward to this for at least the last 18 months. You've all been working hard. You've been doing what you possibly can to make a difference. But now we got 9 more days. Do I have any Navy veterans out there? Yeah! Well, thank you for taking us Marines where we needed to go. But, just kidding here. You guys know what I mean when I say we need all hands on deck. That means everybody, every single person needs to step up and do what you can, whether it's knocking on doors in these last 9 days, whether it's making phone calls in these last 9 days, whether it's offering to work in your municipality and help drive people to the polls in these last 9 days. We need to do something. Everybody, no matter how busy you are, no matter how tied up you are with things in your family, there is something that you can give. Please, don't take and leave anything, I want you to leave it all out on the field. Don't leave it on the sidelines. On November 4th, while many of us are still going to be fighting the counting of these ballots, if we can't get this rule back in the Supreme Court, I want you folks to be able to sit there at home and say that you did everything you possibly could to save this republic. When Benjamin Franklin walked out of Independence Hall, 1787, the woman approached him and said, "Dr. Franklin, what have you given us?" He said, "A republic if you can keep it." Those words were never truer than what we are living today. Ronald Reagan said, "Freedom is just but one generation away from extinction. It must be fought for and protected. It's not passed along to our kids in their bloodstreams." He was talking about us here. He was talking about us today. Folks, we need to make a difference. It relies on my shoulders. It rests on your shoulders as well. So I can't thank you enough for coming out today. I want to tell you, though, while I'm looking out here at the crowd, we're not leaving anything to chance either. What we've done here in Allegheny County is we've reached out and brought some reinforcements in to help us. Okay, the left has unions. They have everything else. We reached out to a neutralizer, something that's going to give us an edge. We reached out to the mighty American Strike Force. Over here to the right, how about a hand for the mighty American Strike Force? Over here to my right, in the white t-shirt and the red hat, red cap, the gentleman by the name of Rick Potter. He's from Texas, and he has recruited folks from Texas, California, New York, from all across this country to come here to Allegheny County, ground zero in this presidential election, to help us elect our Republican candidates up and down the ballot. These volunteers, now Rick came in very late on Sunday, and you know it was like 78 on Sunday, but he said they wanted to all come up to enjoy the wonderful Pittsburgh weather. Now these guys, they know what the keys to the election are. They're just what I've already covered. Those are knocking on doors, making phone calls, helping get people to the poll on election day. So you'll see Rick, and there's some of his folks out there that have clipboards and things like that. If you're not involved today and you're interested in helping, please see one of these folks and sign up so that we can reach out to you. Again, folks, this is a simple math situation. If we get more of our people to the polls than they do of theirs, we're going to win. And right now, because of that mail-in ballot situation, they turned in an awful lot of ballots. We're hundreds of thousands of votes down. But I'm confident in a red wave on November 3rd that we're going to take and change that equation. But again, I need you all to come out to vote. I need you all to come out on November 3rd. Now, I'd like to take this opportunity here to start to introduce some of our great candidates. This next candidate is our candidate for state representative in the Pennsylvania 16th State House District, Rico Elmore. Rico is an Air Force veteran. We have a tremendous group of candidates, and many of these folks are veterans, as am I. We know that when we swore an oath to defend this country and its Constitution, it didn't come with an expiration date. Rico is one of those folks who is stepping up today. Rico, do you want to join me up here if you can? There you go.
Thank you, Mr. DeMarco. He's too kind. Let's give it a hand clap for Mr. DeMarco. My name is Rico Elmore, and I have served this country for the past 11 years, going on my 12th year in the United States Air Force. As Mr. DeMarco has stated, we take an oath. We take an oath to serve, to defend this country against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And that is the oath that we do not take lightly. Because if we fall back on our oath, a lot of innocent people will perish. As a state legislator, you also take an oath to represent your constituents and for the betterment of the people. But all too often, many of our state legislation, they forget. that they work for the people. They do not work for their own self-interest. And that's why I have decided to make the stand, not for myself, but for all of you. Now, I heard we have some Beaver County people in the audience today, so let's hear it. Beaver County, here we are. There you go. I like it. That's awesome. That's awesome. You know, far too often in Beaver County, from those of you who have been there, know that it was all steel mill. It was all a big steel mill area. It was overwhelmingly ran by the Democrats. And that sentiment is still there today, very heavy in Beaver County. But the sentiment for the people is not there. All the politicians that are there, especially the one I'm running against, they're not for the people. And it's time for those politicians who are not for the people to vacate their seats. It's time for the people to take back Harrisburg, and it's time for the people to take back Washington, D.C. So in my time, in my years here, I have created many avenues. I've created a criminal justice program going out of CCBC. I've created a youth mentorship programs. I work with Tiger Paws, for those who are from Beaver County. It's a youth mentorship ministry that I've been from Pennsylvania all the way to Honduras, building churches for other people. Also, I graduated from Penn State. You got any Penn State in the crowd? Graduated at Penn State with my degree in criminal justice. With that, I am a member of the NAACP in Beaver County, which deals with the police and the reform. And when I look at that and I hear people talk about defunding the police, I got to ask, why would you take money away from the people who are supposed to protect us? It doesn't make any sense. So when I go to Harrisburg, I will make sure that our police departments are funded. I will make sure that they have the equipment that they need. And I will go down to these police departments, I will go down to the constituents, and I will go down to the area, and I will find out what is needed in the area so that I can best represent not only the people of District 16 in Pennsylvania, but all of Pennsylvania. But I thank you guys all. Thank every one of you for coming out here today, because it's one thing to talk about it, but it's another thing to be about it. And you guys all out here are doers. So get your friends, your family, your enemies. Get them to the polls and get them to vote for the best candidate there. And that just so happens to be the ones I'm standing with here today. And let's put back the candidates who really support the people. Because the people come first. We need unity in the community. God bless Pennsylvania, and God bless every district in PA. Let's take it home.
Thank you, Rico. What a great candidate we have here. Folks, our next candidate hails from the city, well, just outside the city of Pittsburgh, and he's running for a seat that Republicans haven't challenged in years. Our candidate for the 36th State's House District, fellow veteran, A.J. Doyle.
Thank you, Sam. Like Sam said, my name is A.J. Doyle. I am currently the Vice President of Brentwood Borough Council. I've been in Brentwood Borough Council for 5 years. I am the Chair of Public Safety. And I can tell you something, as the chair of public safety, as a citizen, I back the blue. That's something that you're going to hear a lot of from these great speakers. You know where you're not going to hear that from? You're not going to hear that from people like Connor Lamb. You're not going to hear that from people like Tom Wolfe. And you're definitely not going to hear that from my opponent. My opponent was the director of communications for DSA Pittsburgh. Does everybody know what that is? The Democratic Socialists of America? She was quoted in 2018 on election night saying that Sarah Innamorato, with her victory, proves that socialism can win in Pennsylvania. I'm here to tell you that we reject socialism. We reject what they're doing in the city.
That's right.
I had a conversation yesterday with a resident from Baldwin Borough. This resident asked my opponent, well, what do you plan on doing for Baldwin Borough? She said that she stopped for a second and said, I don't know. I need to talk to the mayor. This lady asked the mayor of Baldwin because I have the contact information. She said, no, I need to talk to Mayor Peduto. This is what we're up against. These socialist candidates that are running, funded by money from Bill Peduto, are trying to push his legislation out into the suburbs, out of the city. They've run out of room to destroy. There is no more property left in the city to destroy. They need to push their voice out further. We are the last stand against that.
We're going red.
We are going to go red. Not only in the United States, when we re-elect Donald J. Trump on November 3rd, we are going to send Connor Lamb home when we elect Sean Parnell to Congress in the 17th District. There will only be one Doyle standing, and he's standing before you right now when Luke Negron shocks the world and we send him to Congress in the 18th District. We're going to re-elect your hometown state representative, Valerie Gatos. We are going to elect Devlin Robinson in the 37th District. And with your help on November 3rd, I will be your next state representative for the 36th District of Pennsylvania. I will carry out the work of Harry Reedshaw. Now, Harry Reedshaw was a Democrat, but Harry Reedshaw believes in one thing, and that is good government over good politics. It is about what is best for us as people. I promise you, as a state representative, I will be a voice of the people. I will be a voice for the people, because at the end of the day, I am the people. And you are the people, and your voices will be heard in 9 days. We have 9 days left. We need every single person here to go out and bring Pennsylvania home for the president, for great Republican candidates up and down the ballot. Each of you, make a promise today. Bring 5 people with you to the polls. Talk to 5 people this week. Have those 5 people talk to 5 people. Everything that you can do. You do not have to move a mountain. You take one step, and that is the next step, which leads to the next step, to the bigger step, which leads to our conservative victory in Pennsylvania. So again, on November 3rd, vote for the right candidates. vote for this great, diverse Republican ticket that we have this year. The excitement is there. Let's continue this excitement. Let's continue to keep America great. Let's continue to keep Pennsylvania great. Let's reopen Pennsylvania.
Send you a package.
3 votes. Last Tuesday, we came up short 3 votes to override Governor Wolf's veto. And he came to Pennsylvania to talk about how he's going to help the restaurant industry. Governor Wolf, do you know how you can help the restaurant industry? Let them open. I promise you, in 2021, when we have a Republican supermajority in the State House and State Senate, we will reopen Pennsylvania. Thank you all so much. God bless you. God bless Allegheny County. God bless the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. And God bless the United States of America.
Thank you, AJ. It was good, but then he turned it off, okay? One demerit to AJ there. Folks, one of the things when we talk about the state house races, this is something that's very important. This year, in addition to mail-in voting, which was introduced, what they got rid of was the straight party ticket. What that means is you just can't go in and select one circle on the ballot and vote for Republicans up and down. You have to go individually to each candidate on the ballot and make that selection. That's extremely important. And when we go in to vote, not only do we vote for President Donald Trump, but we vote for every congressional candidate, our state Senate candidates, and our state House candidates on the ballot as well.
All Republicans.
And it's extremely important here when we talk about these state House candidates about what this means. How many people didn't get to see their loved ones this past year because you were quarantined? How many people lost their jobs? How many people didn't get unemployment or couldn't get through the lines to get unemployment? How many people have seen businesses closed? How many people have seen their kids out of school? How many people saw their kids not even able to participate in sports? How many people were denied the ability to go and see their children participate in sports? Folks, that's what's on the ballot here this November. That's why these state House and Senate candidates and those races are so important. We need you to take and vote for every Republican up and down that ballot. The next candidate I'm going to introduce is somebody that has been tested under fire. He's a state Senate candidate in the 37th State Senatorial District. And he's not going to brag about himself, but let me brag about him for a second here. Kid that grew up in Brookline, city boy like myself, joined the Marine Corps, and then decided that he wanted to take and serve in the infantry. He fought in the original invasion of Iraq, and he fought in Nasiriyah. You all recall Jessica Lynch? When she was kidnapped, it was his unit that was kicking down doors trying to find her. Anyone ever heard of Fallujah? It'll go down in lore as far as the Marine Corps. Fought in Fallujah. And he fought in Afghanistan. And now he's come back and he wants to serve again as our state representative in the 37th State Senatorial District. Please welcome me in welcoming, or join me in welcoming fellow Marine, Devin Robinson.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you so much. You know, I actually joined the Marines 19 years ago last week. And what happened 19 years ago, a month ago, was September 11th. And that was the day that I changed my contract to the infantry, because I had to be on the front lines. If I was capable, I knew that I was responsible for being there and fighting for this country. And I can't believe And now, 19 years later, I can't believe how far this country has come since then. We used to praise the police. We used to thank our first responders. Now the left comes out, they're the loudest ones. They want to defund the police. They want them out of their neighborhood so that they could operate however they want to operate without law and order. And we're going to put Donald Trump in the White House for another 4 years to let them know that we are the law and order party in America. That's right. And it goes all the way down the ticket. Governor Wolf. Is it back? Okay.
Don't put it so close.
Governor Wolf.
Yeah.
Governor Wolf is acting like a tyrant out there. I can't even say he's acting like a tyrant from the governor's mansion or the Capitol because he has been staying in his house. He will not come out of his house. He makes these laws from his house that affect all of you. He wants to make sure that we close these small businesses throughout the state. One person. The Constitution was designed so that one person would not have this type of control over an entire society. One person should not have this much control over 13 million people in the state of Pennsylvania. And that's why we're sending myself and these state representatives out there to tell them to put them back in line. Our own Pittsburgh judge, a federal judge, William Stickman, was the only one that stepped up and told Governor Wolf that what he was doing, how he was acting, was unconstitutional. He came out and said, the authority of the federal government, even during times of an emergency, shall not go unfettered. And that is what we're going to remind that governor next week, November 3rd. And we're going to make sure he gets the message, because we're going to send Pam Iovino packing. I can't even say we're going to send her packing back to her home because she hasn't left her home since March. She has made sure that all of you can't go out there and earn a living. You can't educate your children unless they're being indoctrinated by the left in their own living room. We're going to make sure that your children can get a good education and make sure that they can start using their own brains and develop their own minds and their own free will. She has shut down small business throughout Pennsylvania. She has been there every step of the way and backed Governor Wolf. And the only person that's been out there to stop that is our friend, Representative Val Gatos. When Governor Wolf vetoed the real estate industry, they kept the real estate industry shut down, Val Gatos was out there to make sure that he opened it back up. They did it with car sales. They did it with the real estate. They did it with construction. Those are the types of people that are bringing common sense back to government. Pam Iovino wants you to live off the government. That's what all this is about, is to take away your freedom to earn a living, to decide your own destiny. While she makes sure that you can't go out and work and apply for welfare and apply for unemployment, she has not worked since March and is still collecting a paycheck, a full-time paycheck of $88,000 a year. On the taxpayer's dime, to not work for the people. And we're going to go out there and we're going to make sure that everybody in Harrisburg knows that they're going to earn their paycheck from now on. And now I'd like to introduce a very good friend of mine, a fellow veteran, a veteran that spent the longest tour, 400 and how many days? I don't even know, 485 days throughout the mountains of Afghanistan. He's the author of 3 wonderful books that I'm sure one day, one of them's going to be made into a movie, right? And I don't know who's going to play him, but everybody keeps... Yeah, oh, okay. Well, I was going to say, everybody at the doors, everybody thinks I'm you, so... So, without further ado, here's my friend. Everybody welcome the next Congressman, Sean Parnell.
For 4 more years of Donald J. Trump over I gotta tell you, let's hear it. Let's hear it. 4 years. This is good stuff. 4 years. So, let's hear it. 4 years. Great. This is great stuff. So listen, I am really excited. We've got 9 days until the election day, and I can't tell you how excited I am to give this district back to the people and take the gavel from Nancy Pelosi once and for all. So for those of y'all that don't know me, my name is Sean Parnell. I was an infantry platoon leader in Afghanistan at the height of the hunt for Osama bin Laden in 2006, and I'm running for Congress right here in Pennsylvania's 17th Congressional District. Now back then our mission was pretty simple. Find Osama bin Laden. Unfortunately, we did not. But we found thousands of enemy troops all along the Afghan-Pakistan border, and over 485 days of combat, which is the longest combat deployment in global war and terror history. My platoon took an 85% casualty rate. Some of my men were wounded twice. One guy was wounded 3 times, and I was wounded myself. Now, I learned a lot of profound leadership lessons on the battlefield in Afghanistan, and most of those lessons were drawn directly from my soldiers. Now, my soldiers were immensely special. They weren't superheroes. They weren't Navy SEALs. In fact, the job that many of these men had before they joined the military was high school shortstop. Yet I watched them perform one triumph of the human spirit, one act of heroism after the next, and sacrifice for one another and in defense of the greatest nation on the face of the planet, the United States of America. Now, I was blessed to lead one of the most diverse infantry platoons that you could possibly imagine. Northerners next to Southerners, rich next to poor, black next to white, Christians next to atheists, and yes, Democrats next to Republicans, all in the same foxhole, fighting for the same mission, galvanized under the same American flag. And that, ladies and gentlemen, has become the bedrock of my leadership philosophy since I left the military, focusing on bringing this country together and fighting to keep this nation exceptional. Now, I got home from the military, and I had a really difficult time. I left the military broken. I was medically retired. I was blown up in Afghanistan by a rocket-propelled grenade, fractured my skull, had a pretty serious head injury, which is probably why I'm running for Congress right now, actually. But look, I didn't know what I was going to do with my life, so I came back here to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I was born and raised here, went back to grad school, and I started writing books, threw myself into the next mission of making sure America knew how exceptional my troops were and what they had done on behalf of a grateful nation. I didn't expect that to be anything. Quite frankly, I was an average student. I'm not even that great of a writer. But America was inspired by the story of my troops, and Outlaw Platoon became a New York Times bestseller, and that gave me an opportunity to serve my country in other ways. So after Outlaw Platoon came out, I founded a charity called the American Warrior Initiative. We've traveled all around the country for the last 8 years, and we've been giving service dogs to veterans, first responders, and their families, and it's the best job ever because I get to help America's heroes. And all of that changed one October day in 2019 when President Donald J. Trump came to this district. He gave a speech at the Marcellus Shale Coalition, and he called me out randomly to run for Congress. Now, we all know how our president likes to go off script sometimes. Now, I had never met him. I had never talked to him. I wasn't even at the event. I was in South Carolina giving a service dog to a veteran, talking to a great group of people just like you. On the stage, my phone starts blowing up. I guess when the president calls you out, the world notices. And I come off the stage and I got 50 missed calls from reporters, campaign consultants, aspiring campaign managers. But that's right. One call really scared me, and it was my mother. She's this fiery Italian lady, and look, she don't call you unless there's a problem. So I'm thinking I'm in trouble or there's a death in the family or something like that. So I sneak off the stage, I pick up the phone, I said, "Mom, what's wrong? Why are you calling me?" And she just starts yelling at me. She just goes, "Sean, are you running for Congress?" And I said, "Mom, no, I'm not running for Congress." And then she just pauses and she goes, "Well, this is the punchline." Then she pauses and she goes, "Well, the President of the United States says you're running for Congress." I said, "Ma, put down the wine. It's too early in the day to be drinking." And so she sends me this video, and sure enough, it's Donald J. Trump saying, "Sean Parnell, brilliant military man. He's got everything going. I hear he may run for Congress." And I'm like, what the heck? And so I turned my life upside down, and I got in this race. And ladies and gentlemen, as of today, we are winning this race. And so, now I don't think that I have to make the case against Connor Lamb to this great group of patriots, but I'm going to do it anyway. 2 years ago, Connor Lamb's first ad was carrying an AR-15. He told you all that he would be pro-gun. Today, he has an F rating from the NRA. Guess who has an A rating with the NRA? 2 years ago, Connor Lamb campaigned around this district. He told you'd be pro-life. Then he voted against the Born Alive Act not once, but twice. Guess who actually is pro-life? The day after Connor Lamb was elected, he told Republicans that he looks forward to supporting you and the Republicans who put him in office and supporting the agenda of the President of the United States. A few short months later, he voted to impeach the President of the United States. I would not have voted to impeach the President of the United States. He told you all, in fact, his campaign was built on opposition to Nancy Pelosi. But today he votes with Nancy Pelosi over 93% of the time. I will not vote with Nancy Pelosi 93% of the time. In fact, I will always put the people of this district before any political party. He told you that he would be an independent, moderate voice for Western Pennsylvania, but he votes with Ilhan Omar and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez over 90% of the time. Now, I want to hear this loud and clear, ladies and gentlemen. Is that an independent, moderate voice? No. Connor Lamb and Joe Biden will raise your taxes. Donald Trump and I will cut your taxes. Connor Lamb and Joe Biden will take your guns. President Donald J. Trump and I will always protect your Second Amendment. Connor Lamb and Joe Biden will ban fracking. In fact, they will phase out the entire oil industry, according to Joe Biden. Donald Trump and I will protect the oil industry and the jobs that are supported by that industry. Connor Lamb and Joe Biden will defund the police. Donald Trump and I will always defend the police. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think the choice of this infantryman break stuff. I'm sorry. The choice in this election could not be more clear. It is freedom versus socialism. It is your ability to chart your own path in life and choose life, liberty, in pursuit of happiness, and the life that you want to live, or total government control over every aspect of your life. And ladies and gentlemen, today, right here, right now, 9 days before the election, and I don't think that I'm alone, I choose freedom. Ladies and gentlemen, America stands on a very thin line between hope and darkness. And it is our time to stand up and fight for this country, just like generation after generation of Americans has fought for this country, and sprint to the finish with me. And every candidate that's up and down this ballot, will you defend freedom with us? All right. God bless you all. Let's keep America great. And God bless the United States of America.
Folks, before we introduce our next candidate, and you've heard from a great slate of candidates here today, I do need to say a couple words about three candidates that are here with us. Allegheny County is a huge county, 750 square miles, but it pales in size when you place it next to the entire state of Pennsylvania. We have three candidates that are running for statewide elected offices here. We have Heather Heidelbaum, who's running for Attorney General. Heather's running against an opponent who's currently serving in that role, but has never tried a case in a courtroom. I'm a salesman by trade, and I like to say that Josh Shapiro and I have something in common, and that's that both of us, neither of us, has seen the inside of a courtroom. It's time we elect Heather Heidelbaum and put a real attorney in charge of defending the citizens of this state. We have Dauphin County Controller Tim DeFore running for Auditor General. Tim actually has Pittsburgh roots. Tim went to school along with his siblings and graduated from the University of Pittsburgh. Tim worked here as an auditor at UPMC, and he's running against a fraud out of Philadelphia, Nina Ahmad. We got to elect Tim DeFore to be our next Auditor General. He has something that our current Auditor General and the previous ones have never had, and that's the actual qualifications of being an auditor to be able to do the job. And last but not least, we're our treasurer candidate, Stacey Garrity. Stacey is a colonel in the U.S. Army Reserve, served in Iraq. She actually ran and managed the largest BOW camp that they had in Iraq.
Wow.
So when you go and you vote on November 3rd, when you fill out your ballot, you need to vote for all of the Republican candidates on your ballot.
Yes.
So now, I want to take the opportunity to introduce you to your hometown girl, to the State House Representative for the 44th State House District, where I live, my state representative, Valerie Gatos.
Thank you, Sam, and thank you all of the candidates. I mean, look, I am the last Republican left in terms of office. 2 years ago, we had a state senator, Republican. We had a congressman who was Republican. And now it's just me. I really need every single one of you to go out and elect Sean Parnell. Every single one of you need to go out and elect Devlin Robinson. As Devlin was saying, I'm sort of the lone soldier there fighting the governor, trying to let people live free.
Thank you.
Thank you. sure could use some help. So, you know, this is my district, so yes, my name's Valerie Gatus. This is the 44th district. You are in Moon Township. This is the heart of the 44th district. I have spent the last 6 months trying to fight this governor and to say, you know, people need to make their own decisions. And I appreciate every single one of you who are fighting for the freedoms that my grandparents came to this country for. My grandparents came from Slovakia. And my parents were here, and my grandparents were here, but my parents told me stories over and over again about their cousins over in Eastern Europe who were fighting Russian tanks with sticks and stones. Right. I am unabashedly pro-Second Amendment. Yes. And I'd like to thank FOAC, who are here today. And if you're not a member of FOAC, please join FOAC. They are super supportive, and I thank them for all that. I'm not going to spend much time here repeating what every single one of the other candidates said. I know there's a busy day here, you want to network, and I want to make sure that everybody goes out and votes and brings 10 friends, and you make sure on election day that you remind every single person that they need to go vote. Yes. This is our privilege, this is our right, yes. And this is what we need to do, is to take back our country for our grandparents. So thank you, and thank all of you patriots out there.
Thank you, Bob. Our next speaker, I'm interested to hear from personally. And I'll tell you, it's because our next speaker, Jill McCartney, is a psychiatric nurse. And maybe she can explain what's going through the heads of those folks on the other side.
Good luck. No chance.
So, just looking at everything.
Can't hear you.
Can't hear you.
Can't hear you. We can hear you.
There we go. Okay. So the lineup for... Is that better? The lineup for today, wow. Congressmen, politicians... I mean, talk about being the odd duck out here, right? How do I fit into this lineup? How did I end up being in stage on front of all of you? I'll try to talk louder. So I have no idea, how I got here. I am a mom of 4 kids. I am a psychiatric nurse practitioner. I run a telepsychiatry company. We currently cover 6 states in the United States. We cover Washington, Idaho, Maryland, Pennsylvania, Alaska, and Arizona. The thing is, over the past year, I started to see the same things with all my patients, the same types of symptoms. And I'm talking significant symptoms, intense symptoms, to the point that the symptoms were interfering with their lives. That's why they came to see me in the first place. Now, you need to understand, my patients are everyone. Every color, every political affiliation, every age. Mental health does not discriminate. I have patients who are doctors, who are highly educated, patients who are mental health professionals. Yes, even psychiatric professionals get help from other psychiatric professionals. Every single person is experiencing the same things. You see, no matter what they tell you, no matter what message you're getting, nothing is normal right now. It's not. Nothing has been normal for a very long time. Nothing's been normal for anyone. Our world was created to maintain balance, to maintain homeostasis. The environment was, our bodies were, our brains were. This is science, you can look it up. Everything in our world was perfectly made.
When our world is out of balance, not normal, our bodies respond. They respond with symptoms, anxiety, depression, feelings, emotions. And those symptoms do not discriminate. You'll hear it called propaganda. Oh, well, it's just propaganda. Or it's a conspiracy theory. No, it's not just those things. It's psychological manipulation. It's a way to confuse the brain, to confuse the emotional and logical parts of the brain. Again, this is science. You can look it up. The libs, the Democrats, well, you will never win an illogical argument with your opinion. The only way to get them to understand, to see, to wake up, is by using logic. Ask them to explain to you their understanding of things, logically. What you will see is that it's impossible to logically explain something that is not logical. Einstein once said, if you cannot explain it simply, you do not understand it well enough. Yesterday, I spent hours upon hours going through the debate transcript from the other night. I went through over 100 pages of debate transcript. I analyzed the words and the statements that Trump and Biden said. I didn't analyze them with my opinion. I analyzed them with science and with logic. What everyone seems to forget is that psychiatry and psychology are not opinions. They're science. Scientifically validated, statistically provable science. I have put the share document on one of the handouts that we have so you can see it. Keep in mind it's a rough draft. It's currently about 56 pages with sources, references, citations. But take a look and what you'll see is the truth. Biden has antisocial personality disorder, as defined by the DSM-5, the textbook of psychiatry. You can see this if you watch videos and interviews from years ago. You will see the same patterns repeating, the same methods, the same techniques. When patterns of maladaptive behaviors repeat over time, you have psychopathology, scientifically provable, not an opinion. So what about all the liberals and Democrats that are supporting Biden? They're not bad people. Honestly, they're not. Most of them want the same things as we do. Their brains are just sick. They are confused. Why are we fighting and arguing with our Americans? They need us right now. We need to be strong for them. Because the corrupt elite have done horrible things. They have taken advantage of and manipulated good people, good Americans. If you turn on mainstream media, all you will see is videos of riots, people beating other people, buildings burning. Listens to the words that they say. They will invoke fear and anxiety. Watch and you'll see it. The way they emphasize their words and inflections in certain words. But what they do not realize is that is not America. Those videos and those images, those do not show real Americans. What they're doing is using logical fallacy known as hasty generalization, using small numbers, a small example, to represent the whole. They are trying to portray Americans as all of these bad things. And that's not true. And what happens when people see that, they forget about reality. They forget about their day-to-day. Their brain thinks, well, it's on TV, it must be true. And this results in panic, fear, and anxiety. That's not America. Those aren't a representation of Americans. Right here today, this is America. Every one of you are Americans. I want every one of you to realize, all of us here today, not worrying about safety, not worrying about being beaten or fighting or theft, not worrying about the safety of our children with a bunch of strangers. Do you realize how enormous and profound that is? We are every color, every level of education, every economic background, and all of that is completely irrelevant. What is relevant is that we are Americans. And you need to know and believe that we are everywhere. Because people, humans, are inherently good. It doesn't matter what country, what race, what degree, people are good. Always, always know there are so many more of us than there are of them. To many people, it feels like the world's ending. But it's their world that's ending, not ours. We are Americans. Where we go one, we go all.
Thank you, Jill.
Thanks, Jill. Whoa.
Folks, you've heard from a number of outstanding speakers today, and you're going to hear from another one right next. This gentleman is a veteran as well, a veteran of the U.S. Air Force and the Pennsylvania Air National Guard, and he's an impressive young man, as an impressive young man as any of I've met. I want to introduce you to our next candidate, our candidate for Congress in PA's 18th Congressional District, Luke Negrod.
Hello, Western PA. Well, guys, thank you so much. You're out here in the cold, you're standing, there are few people that are able to sit. Thank you guys so much for being here. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it, how much these other great candidates appreciate it. And I want to tell you guys something I've already heard echoed, and I just want to remind you, we have so many good Washington outsiders, young leaders, and military veterans. I want to go through a quick list here. A.J. Doyle representing the U.S. Army. We've got Devlin Robinson representing the U.S. Marines. We've got Natalie Mihalik, the U.S. Navy. And we've got personal favorite, Big Blue, Rico Elmore and myself representing the U.S. Air Force. These are your candidates, right? I mean, this is who we have. Who does the left have? Career politicians, elitists who have been out of touch for years. In the case of my opponent, for decades, almost 3 decades in the same office. So look, I'm so thankful to see what I see right here, right now. And people ask me all the time, they say, Luke, you're young, you're 27 years old. Why get involved in this nasty world of politics now? Why ruin your life and put yourself out there? You should read some of the tweets I get, some of the emails I get. It is nasty and it's hard. Here's why. 2 big threats. Look, I could tell you, look, I'm pro-energy independence. I'm pro-Second Amendment. I'm pro-life. All of that is true, but those are all, I would call those symptoms of 2 big things, 2 umbrellas that trickle down and affect every one of those policies. Number 1, the issue that I stand against as someone who is pro-term limits. We have a problem with elitist sellouts in power. Washington insiders who have been around far past their time, who no longer represent the people who they're meant to represent. These are spineless individuals, and sadly, many of them are spineless Republicans. People who were against Donald Trump. People who are against the Republicans actually standing for the people. And then number 2, what are those people selling out to? The movement that is the rise of socialism in America. We see this exemplified through Ilhan Omar, AOC, Rashida Tlaib, young radicals on the left side of the aisle. And then I sat around my kitchen table complaining about the AOCs of the world about 18 months ago, and I realized, what am I doing? If I'm just going to sit here and complain about her, they're going to keep winning. They're going to keep taking back, they're going to keep claiming our schools, our entertainment, our sports. I kid you not, it's like you can't go to a football game, you can't watch a movie, you can't go anywhere without having the radical agenda shoved down your throats. And if we let them keep winning this marketing battle, by them having the young, new, fresh leaders, the radicals, and then I look on the right side of the aisle and say, where are the young, new, fresh leaders on the right? Where are we answering them in this battlefield of ideas? I don't see it happening. That's why I'm here. That's why so many of my young veteran friends are here. And we are so excited to stand with and for you guys. So, look, I mean, I can never thank you enough for the support that I've seen today and throughout this election cycle. My motto in my candidacy is to reset, redeem, and reclaim politics of, by, and for the people. That's what we're going to do here in Western PA. I know this is not my district. This is PA 17. How many people here came from Al's Cafe with me, though? Are the neighbors of PA 17 came here? I love that. I love that. And that's because we're brothers and sisters. We're American brothers and sisters. We stand united. And united, we are going to take back not only Western PA, not only Pennsylvania, but the United States. We're going to give Donald Trump and Mike Pence 4 more years. We're going to have the House back. We're going to have the Senate back. And we are going to see revitalization and change like never before. So my name is Luke Negron. Stop by the table. I will be around to chat with any of you. I love talking policy. I love making personal connections. Thank you so much. God bless all of you.
Thank you, Luke. Hey, was I not telling the truth? What an impressive young man. Folks, our next speaker, I think it's very important that we hear from him. We know that the left does nothing but lie. You hear they call us all kinds of names. We're misogynists, we're racists, all these different things. But I can tell you that we're anything but. One of the proudest days of my life was standing with President Donald J. Trump in the White House the day he signed the executive order creating the White House Opportunity Zone and Revitalizing Council for our opportunity zones. We have a representative here today who's going to tell you more about that in his program, Black Voices of Trump, Black Voices for Trump. Please welcome Mr. Gino Harris.
How y'all doing today? Before I start, I just want to share something personal with y'all. Today is my birthday. Hey, before we start singing happy birthday, let's start with a chant. Trump, instead of happy birthday, man. Instead of happy birthday, let's start off with a chant on me. Trump 2020.
Trump 2020. Trump 2020. Trump 2020.
Let's go.
Trump 2020. Trump 2020. Trump 2020.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go. And
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Gino.
I don't know where they started.
Thank you. I appreciate you, ladies and gentlemen. 32. And my fellow patriots. And honestly, this country's amazing. Honestly, it's the greatest country ever known in the history of the world. It literally is. And I'm going to tell y'all something. I never thought in my wildest dreams I'd ever see people disagree with that. Honestly. But it's not the greatest country in the world. It's mind-blowing, right? And, you know, I just want to talk about how we all at one time, we were children. I was 4 years old. And I said a pledge of allegiance to this flag right here. Honestly. And that was the first time I felt pride in being American. And I never forgot that pledge. I never forgot it. And I'm sure everyone here has never forgot that pledge either. We got a side of y'all that may have forgotten that pledge. And we need to remind them of it, okay? Who I am right now is I'm the regional coordinator for Black Voices for Trump. And what my goal is, thank you. And what my goal is to engage the black community. Because, ladies and gentlemen, we have a problem, okay? It is actually a cultural cancer, which is the Democrat Party, which they embedded into my community for 60 years, okay? And that's 59 too long, right? 60 is too long.
Too long.
And what it is that they do it by fear baiting and deception, right? And they want to make us believe that the right side is the wrong side. And they want me to believe that, you know, they got racism, sexism, classism, ageism, all these isms, right? But see, they don't mention the two that defeats them all. Capitalism, nationalism, that's right, pride in this country defeats all of that. Let's do a clap for capitalism right now. Let's go, nationalism right now. Let's go. And I tell you what, you know, the funny thing is, they talk about the racism, right? But I ask these people, I say, name one racist law drafted and enacted by the Republican Party.
Right. Thank you.
Zero. The racist laws that they talk about, systemic racism, was enacted by the Democrats. Right? But yet, so they want to tear down statues, but that's their history. That is the Democratic Party, see? And they want me to believe that the Republican Party and Donald Trump's racist. But let me tell you something. I have never seen this much progress for the black community until Donald Trump was elected. I mean, come on. And the funny thing is, they expect me like I got blinders on. I got some Ray-Ban glasses on, so I can see pretty damn good. Excuse my French. But they expect me like I got blinders on. I see it. I see it, ladies and gentlemen. This man, we didn't elect him for his mannerisms. We didn't elect him, you know, to be politically correct. We're tired of that. We're tired of the same damn thing. And that's what it's been. They give a little, they take a lot. With this man, I've seen so much happen despite the left side, constant beratement, constant slander, constant attacks, constant investigation with all taxpayers' money. For what? Nothing. Right? And the funny thing is, Donald Trump is really Mr. Bipartisan. All the major bills are backed by, listen, they're bipartisan, Democrat and Republican backed. Obama couldn't get that done, right? So to me, it's just like, it's crazy. There must be another reason why they want this man out. And that's because he's for us. He's for us. Give Donald Trump a clap. Come on, man. I love this right here. And honestly, you know, the Democrat and Joe Biden, they want to make me believe, and my community believe, that we're victims, right? Now, we're victims. In '93, though, I was a predator, right? Ain't that what he said to Congress?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, that's right. But now I'm a victim. I'm a victim of you, Sleepy Joe, and your policies. But see, it didn't happen to me, see? What it is that I'm not a predator, Sleepy Joe. I'm a college graduate. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a businessman. I'm a father. See, and I did all that because this right here is the greatest nation on earth. Thank you. And let me tell y'all something. No matter the obstacle, no matter the barrier, nothing can stop you when you are this. When you are this. And despite all of that, despite all of what Joe said, I'm standing here today, I'm not a victim. I'm a proud American. You feel me? Thank you. And I'll tell you this, we need balance in our nation. Okay, we do. We got to come together. Despite the left's almost treason actions, we still need them. They're still Americans, right? You know, they complain about our country. I say, yo, well, the border's open on this side, right? That's right. Yeah, no, let me stop, right? We know we need them. They're fellow Americans, and we love them. Despite their behavior, we love them. And it's quite sad, though, that BLM, Antifa, they use black struggle as a political football, see? And they're out here destroying cities to say in our honor. It's no honor. How is destroying other Americans' business and lives in an honor? How are you bringing justice to anybody? Stop it. What you did was you waited to this election to disrupt this man. This man who brought greatness back to America. Because, hey, for 8 years, I mean, we wasn't as respected as we is today, baby. I tell you that. You see what? Go ask Iran what happened. right? Go ask Iran what happened. Go ask Russia what happened in Syria when them USA boys got them down in the deserts of Syria. I don't know if y'all knew that. We spanked them over there. I don't know if y'all knew that. So, that's right. I tell you this. I am just so proud to be an American, ladies and gentlemen. And honestly, I just want everyone to know this right here. There's nothing we can't overcome together. Honestly, there is nothing. There is nothing. Every one of us here has roots in this great nation, history in this great nation, and that is what makes this nation great. And ladies and gentlemen, we cannot let division take over this nation. So on November 3rd, our voices need to be heard. All our voices need to be heard. So, and I ask you to engage, invite, recruit as many people as you can, because something they're trying to do, just mail-in ballots, just don't sit right to me. Come on. We could go to Walmart, Home Depot, you could go in the vote. Come on. Come on, right? So, again, recruit, engage, challenge. Don't be afraid to debate. I do it often. I really do. And it's all about winning November 3rd. We cannot let the progress go back. You know, with the phrase, keep America great, that is eternal. And that is forever a work in progress. You know, when people say to me, Gino, when has America been great? I can't believe they asked me that. I say, let me tell you something, my man. America has always been great. Right? We're not perfect, but what country is? Honestly, what country is? And then I say to him, I tell you what, name another country greater. Crickets. There's not. Honestly, this is the greatest country on earth, ladies and gentlemen, and we must defend it. And something.
Low battery.
Oh, okay.
We're good.
I'll wrap it up. I'll tell you this. We started out with a chant. I don't know what was going on. I'll tell you this. We started off with a chant. We're going to finish this with a chant. On me, all right? USA!
USA! USA! USA! USA! USA!
Let's go!
USA! 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 USA!
Hey, my name is Gino Harris, and I thank each and every one of y'all. God bless each and every one of y'all. God bless America. Thank you. Thank you. And I'll tell you now, let's help out these candidates. Let's help out these candidates as best we can, because we need them. Oh, I got a gift for y'all. Let me find it. Here we go. Here we go. I got some wristbands. I'm going to throw out to y'all. All right? Here we go. God bless America. Trump 2020, baby. Red Wave, November 3rd. Let your voice be heard. Let's go.
That was awesome.
Folks, before you all leave, how about a hand for Julie and Crystal for setting this up? What a phenomenal job. How about a hand for Ronnie, our sound? It's not Ronnie's equipment, he's just manning. Whose truck is this? Hey, how about thank you to John Fleming for allowing us to use his truck. Thank you, John. Folks, thank you all for coming out. We got 9 more days. 9 more days. That's all. Let's go to the polls on November 3rd. Let's make it happen. Thank you.